And good morning, or good day, or buongiorno, or guten tag, or bonjour, or buenos dias, or morituri te salutant, or salve. Well, it's me again, ready to flow with you a little bit more on a new artist that I've been looking at lately. So, how are you? I am a little anxious today. The weather isn't too clement. It's gray. Can't really see where the sun is, and I feel that sometimes I feel like my life is a little bit like this. Huh? I know that the sun is there, the light is there, up there, shining upon, but sometimes thoughts are like clouds. They're thick, and they don't let me see where the light is and therefore the direction. You, how are you faring? How is your Tuesday? So, I have a couple of questions that I made for myself so that I don't look like I'm crazy. I mean, crazier than I already probably am, or you might perceive that I am. So, I'm fine. And I would like to talk about Memo Akten today. I want to say something about myself real quick. Number one, I'm a doctor. And what does it mean? Well, that I went to school for many years, actually, and that I earned this title that from Cornell University, title that I wear very proudly because, it's a privilege that I earned with almost my life. I nearly died in the process. I broke down real bad. My head stopped working for a while, quite a while actually. But I insisted and persisted, and therefore I got what I wanted to get, and here I am. So Dr. Antonio, or Dr. Love, as they used to call me when I used to go to Cornell because of my research. So what do? I spend a lot of time, spend most of my time thinking about creativity. And creativity as a as a multifaceted phenomenon, creativity as I would say the very basic phenomenon of the universe. The universe is inherently creative, but what does it mean that it generates and destroys at the same time? Creativity is a twofold process. There is generation, something comes to life, something is produced, but it's also destructive. Something gets destroyed in a way, because when you create something, you alter a form, you use some material, any material, even data, and you alter the form of what you're using in order to manifest, in order to produce what do you want to produce? Anything, really, anything from me. And I find this being a widespread phenomenon, not only like in the universe and in everything we really do. So this is a facet of creativity that I think about. Then I think about creativity in art. What does it mean? And then I think about creativity as a phenomenon that is emerging in machines too. We are very reluctant to say that machines are creative. And why? Because we're stupid. Because we think that this phenomenon is only accessible to us humans. And I have a hard time believing this, understanding this, even because you look left, look right, and everything is creative, from plants to animals to shape of the clouds. But why do we tend to think that creativity only pertains to humans? Well, because we have, I think we have poor understanding of the concept of creativity, poor in terms of foggy not explicit, and it's a rather mystified concept, actually. I think it would be really cool every time we use concepts like intelligence, creativity, consciousness to just give a brief definition of what we mean, and so that we take away some of the magic that surrounds these words, and that oftentimes blocks our understanding and makes things very hard to understand, to use, and makes them rather exclusive. So since I'm talking about creativity, what do I mean by creativity? Well, for now, creativity is a twofold process. You generate, you destroy. And it's a universal phenomenon, belongs to the universe. The universe does nothing but creating and destroying. Everything belongs to nature, belongs to the universe, belongs to other animals, belongs to plants, belongs to every phenomenon, belongs to every arrangement of matter or energy or information, however you want to think the basic components of what life is made of reality is made of, whatever, like it's creative. Also, creativity, I think about creativity as a healing force. At least this is how it went for me. When I broke down, my mind shattered, and it was in pieces for a very long time. And while I was collecting the pieces and putting back together and regenerate myself, my mind, my spirit, my soul, my heart, everything was broken. I delved into creativity. I wrote poems, I wrote stories, I journaled, I danced, I did meditation, I did martial arts. I went to a very, quite a wide range of things, activities that had the creative heart, and that over time allowed me to regenerate myself, recreate myself. So yeah, I also think a lot about how creativity can be used as a healing tool. And as a matter of fact, there is a friend of mine, for example, who's a like an art therapist. So she uses art, visual arts, actually, like painting, drawing, these kind of things, as a creative, as a healing tool to help young people, actually, I think children and young adults, to get in touch with themselves again, and when they struggle with depression or other mental illnesses. She works in concert with a psychologist and helps these people to, grow and get better. Okay. I wanted to tell you a couple of things about myself, but should I? Well, yeah. So what brings me here? I want you to know me, and I want to express myself. I want to creatively put my thoughts into words and share them, because I think they're cool and I think you should know them. Or maybe not, maybe they're not cool. How am I creative? Well, I said that, right? Through writing, learning how to code, interested in deep learning. I'm creative with my meditation. I don't follow a particular school lately, but I'm rather experienced my own path. Open eye meditation, walks, gratitude practices, written meditations in the morning and in the evening sometimes too. So I experience creativity and I cook, dance. I'm silly. I have very creative ways of being silly. And yeah, so I think I want to show you a little bit of art now. What do you think? And how are you creative, by the way, before we move on? What's creativity like for you? How do you experience it? Could you define it? Tell me what it is for you. let me share my screen and introduce you to this cool artist called Memo Akten. Oh, by the way, what are we doing here? We're talking about a special kind of creatives, artists, digital creatives or creative coders, people that use code, programming to make work of arts and to prompt us to think about the very nature of art. Okay, now I'm gonna share my screen. If you're ready, I'm gonna share the sound. 2, here we go. And you should be seeing my screen. I hope you see this thing because this is the second time that I shot this video, because first time I did it, I didn't share it the right way, and nothing, I had to redo this. So this cool looking guy here, Memo Akten, looks like this. See, the GIF moves. It's a computational artist. Look at that. Somebody that uses computers to create. So somebody that counts really to create, because computer the word comes from Latin root computare, which really means to count, to make count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Memo Akten is a computational artist, an AI wrangler, a philomath. This is interesting, not a polymath, a philomath, which means somebody who loves learning, loves subjects, loves being a student. He's got a PhD in AI, and he studies human and machine interaction, and he's an assistant professor. He's a great guy. Cool. Let's look at a couple of works. This is his page, Memo TV. This is what looks like. He's everywhere. He's here on LinkedIn. Am I following him? Yes. I don't use LinkedIn, so I don't use Twitter actually. And he's on BAM. It's also on Instagram. Here we go. So why don't we look at some of this work and see if rapture takes place? Right? What do you think? Okay, let's pick something that captures my attention or yours. What about this? Journey through the layers of the mind. It's a short video. Here we go. Oh, let's give it full resolution. We love this. Let's go. Oh, wow. Quite creepy, scary. Eyes, many eyes. Many eyes. And there is a principle of, looks like fractal geometry, like you can always get inside. Comes back. Look at him. Oh, again. It's like a bird now, right? A howl. Looked like a howl at the beginning. It's changing. There are many heads of animals. It's quite trippy. Not to be seen when you're high, I suppose, if you ever get high. Pearls. Oh, color. Oh, wow. Wow, this was quite scary. Everybody hates Deep Dream, he says, but I really love it. However, it's not aesthetics that I love, but the poetry of what's happening inside the algorithm. This is what he says. He likes the poetry of the algorithm. And this is interesting because we don't think about algorithms as a poetic tools, as poetic structures, when in fact they might be, depending on what we define as poetry and what we define as algorithms. Algorithms, we can define them as a set of instructions that we give in general, a set of instructions. In this case, a set of instructions that we give to a machine to do something. And what is poetry? Oh, what is poetry? Poetry, well, why don't we sort of saying something crazy? Why don't we stick to the word poetry? Comes from the word poiesis in Greek, ancient Greek, and which really means to do, to make. It's a generative activity, poetry, and it's also a way of being alive. I think, at least in my case, poetry to me is the way I stay alive. It's a way I experience the world. I experience the world chasing rapture, chasing awe, chasing beauty. And this is how I call poetry, what I call poetry. And then, of course, there is a discipline in which you use words to say cute things that supposedly are supposed to get you laid, but they don't necessarily work, doesn't necessarily work that way. Now, let's see. There is other cool stuff. I love lasers. So maybe let's watch something with lasers. Wow, light painting, 2012. That's old. Let's see what there is. Quality. Let's see, maybe there is some volume too. Here we go. Really hot car, right? Yeah. Wow, so it's an advertisement. Oh, I didn't notice that. It's McLaren. Oh, wow. It's awesome. It's so beautiful. Love it. What do you think? That was poetic, for example, the lights and the music and the crescendo of the music and how, I don't know, it's kind of dramatic actually, but how the lasers then were just shaping the nice curves of the car, which I think it's quite a sexy car actually, even if we got to see it only for a while. And why sexy? Because of the curves, you know? Curves are sexy, I think. So yeah, like it. Let's see something else. Let's I love flowers. I love flowers. I remember so there was a military service in Italy until I don't know, early 2000 or something like this. And so for those of my age, born in the 80s, 1980, I think 1980, 1982 was the last year that we had to, you know, go to military service. But anyway, before going to military service, you had to do a visit. You had to see a doctor. You had to take a couple of tests in which you were supposed to answer a bunch of questions. And I remember one of these questions was like to see, the purpose of this question was to see if you had the profile that would fit, that will make you a good fit to, you know, that year of military training that you need to go through. And there was this stupid question that said, you know, do you like flowers? And then you had the multiple choice. I don't remember all the choices, but one of those was like, do you want to be a florist? Do you like flowers? Would you like to be a florist? And this apparently was so there was some sort of a myth. I remember people used to say that you never had to say that you wanted to become a florist, otherwise people like psychologists would think you were gay, and that would disqualify you. I remember this crazy stuff. Anyway, I like flowers a lot, so let's look at them. Deep meditations. Here we go. Morphosis. So deep meditation, I love all these references to deep learning, or Nabanawar meditations. Do you meditate? What is meditation to you? A lot of people think that meditation has to do with stopping how to think, but it's not. I'll tell you. Then it's morphosis. Morphosis, I would say it is a Greek word. Morph means form. So morphosis probably is the generation of a form. Let's see if I'm right. On YouTube, at 7 minutes, we'll watch a little bit of it. Okay, just a little bit. Here we go. See if you like the music. This is so soothing. Practice overnight. So gentle. Right. Fire goes to the ground. Star. Everything comes. Yeah. Calcium bones, iron, veins, carbon, sulfur, hydrogen, 93% starving. Cells make Yeah, watch this forever. It's awesome. Let's see what he says about this work. A collaboration between visual artist Memo Akten and electronic musician Max Cooper. The piece explores how natural structures, from the most tiny to the most huge, can we say that? Share aesthetic properties. So there is a connection between the microcosm and the macrocosm. This is something that Nicola Cusano, philosopher of 15th century, used to say. Anyway, the tiny and the big share similar structure as recognized by both artificial and biological neural networks. And there are basically a flow sequence of that takes a look at these connections. The infinite nature of space, natural physical structure, which can loop back on itself to give endless visual explorations and variation. I've seen this theme of, let me get some light, let there be light. Yes, let there be light. Okay. I've seen this theme of connecting the microcosm and the microcosm and the macrocosm in a lot of situations. If you look at nebulas, or for example, the shape of our galaxy, we live in a galaxy. Did you know this? What is the name of the galaxy in which we live in? It's called the Milky Way. Know that. So there are, the shape is like a whirlpool, and which is something we can also observe, when we look at water. So things act alike in the universe, which is an interesting concept to think about. Now, since I've been talking forever, like 35 minutes, I will show you something I love. This is a brief, a minute introduction of Memo Akten work. Super cool. Super cool. I also presented this last time when I did this thing, but then I had to erase because I didn't share the screen. So it's 4 minutes. We watch it, say a couple of things, and then I'm gonna let you go.
Hi, my name's Memo Akten. I'm a computational artist, and my biggest inspiration is studying the nature of nature. This spans from the nuclear fusion in the heart of the sun to the photosynthesizing organisms that fuel all of life on the surface of the earth, to the incredibly complex hyperobject that we call human civilization and culture. I use computational approaches as a lens and language to abstract the behavior of these natural and anthropogenic processes to create data dramatizations. My research centers around expressive human-machine interaction and interventions that encourage meaningful human control, a term that I appropriate from the autonomous weapons literature. Framing technology as not external to us, but as extensions of our body, as extensions of our mind, I study its impact on us as individuals, on how we behave and how we express ourselves. And as cogs in a much larger machine, its broader impact on the complex networks that we form, on culture, and ultimately on our values, our laws, traditions, and rituals. As part of studying the nature of nature, I'm also very interested in studying the nature of the mind and how we make sense of the world. I am 70 trillion separate cells, more than half of which are not even human, and yet they all work together such that their interactions gives rise to the sensation that I have this one single unified body with a single unified sense of I, coordinated by the brain, an incredibly complex non-linear dynamical system in a constant state of oscillation, while its internal balance is continually perturbed. It's constantly seeking equilibrium, making predictions, and resulting in what we call perceiving, thinking, and feeling. The image that we see in our conscious mind is not a mirror image reflection of the outside world, but it is a reconstruction, a hallucination, based on our expectations and prior beliefs. So in my work, I create data dramatizations of natural and anthropogenic processes, and I explore state-of-the-art machine learning algorithms as a means to reflect on ourselves and how we make sense of the world. When an artificial neural network looks out onto the world and tries to make sense of what it's seeing, it can only see through the filter of what it already knows, just like us, because we too see things not as they are, but as we are.
I love this thing. It's fantastic. Wow, I had a timer, so it looks like I ran out of time, but I don't care. I'm still gonna say something more. So I'm gonna let this thing go again as I talk, or maybe not. Why don't I stop sharing? Yes, I'm back. I love, or maybe, should I share it again? Yeah, what? Yeah, share it again. Here we go. I will say a couple of words about what we just saw. So Memo Akten studies the nature of nature. It's a very interesting expression because, of course, he means that he's going to the very heart of nature, but I would like to draw your attention on the fact that nature, the word nature really means to be born. Nascere, nascere would be in Latin, so to be born. So the nature of nature will literally translate as the way, the to be born of the to be born. So everything around us is in the process of giving birth and coming to life. And again, this is the creative process. As it comes to life and comes and manifests, something else is destroyed. So Memo Akten uses, understands, investigates the nature of nature through coding. So he uses algorithm to study the inner structure of reality and also of the mind, he says at some point. And then there is something that I really like, that he says that he doesn't see technology as something that is opposed and against us, but rather just a very finally an intelligent way of seeing technology is an extension of ourselves. And I would like to really, focus on this thing, an extension of ourselves. It really means that technology is not just about instruments that have nothing to do with us. We can either use them or not use them, and we are the same. No, it's not this. It's not this. Technology is an extension of us. It means that we are disseminated in the space. And by technology, by the way, it's not just computers and phones or planes. This is a piece of technology. This is a piece of technology. Technology is everything that doesn't grow on trees. Everything that we produce to satisfy our our needs, everything we use to reach our goals. This is technology, and technology again is an extension of us, which means that we as humans, each one of us is both here within his body and dispersed in the objects that he uses to survive, to thrive, to live his life. And it's not about not using technology or not wanting technology or refusing technology. People say, I'll refuse technology. I'll go live in a roulotte or on a camp, and I'll cultivate, and I'll yes, and or on a hut, and I will retire, and I will cultivate, make my own food, and so on and so forth. When you're doing this, you're still using technology. It's just older technology. What you're denying is not technology per se, because you cannot deny technology per se. You cannot refuse. You cannot get out of technology. You should stop using shoes. You should stop using underwear. You should stop using sticks to hit things, to reach things in case you need them. You should stop using beds. You should stop using everything if you are against technology and don't want technology. Anyways, big rant, I'm sorry. And yeah, I think this guy is brilliant. I want to know more about him. So I will be posting a little bit more next time. So I hope you liked it. This was long, but who cares, right? We want content, quality. Huh? And I gotta go because I have to eat. It's late. And I will see you next time. And I wish you a sweet new day, a sweet new evening, depending on where you are. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, did I say my name? My name is Antonio, by the way, just in case you want to know. Take care.